Kent Center traditionally, which was Angels Haven once upon a time, has been here to help support the local community for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Everything from employment services to rehabilitation to residential services. Currently, Kent Center is in the process of change, but the change specifically focusing in the same area of opening up new opportunities and promoting the ability for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities to live their fullest life completely within our community and to move away from that very traditional model of services in a residential center or hospital, which is what it would have been once upon a time. We work very hard to give people choice in their life goals, their life missions, and the choices that they're making kind of driving the support that they need to be able to accomplish those goals. I started here mid-February. A month and a day from the day that I started, we were told that schools were closing down, that no one was allowed to be in groups larger than 10, and that basically we were to cease and desist all congregating, which was very interesting for us because we support about 50 people in a residential center settings right now, community living settings, which would be homes or apartments spaced in and around Kent County. Those people all of the sudden overnight were told, we're gonna stay home. Then we had another 35 people, 40 people that we supported for some semblance of meaningful day services. And all except for a very few who worked in essential businesses were then told, by the way, you're staying home as well. Which had far-reaching impact for us. Some of it being devastating. You know, the financial impact of that on a company our size is profound. And then beyond that, some of the positives we've seen is it has given our leadership team a chance to kind of rethink why we've done what we've done, or how we've done what we've done, and then how could we do it better. Rallied around the people we supported and completely revamped rehabilitation services, which is where we're sitting right now, to make it a more meaningful, more impactful day. We've seen very far-reaching impact, both on the positive and on the negative side because of the virus. The nurses started making sure they stopped into every house every week to see every individual, regardless of the amount of need, and really kind of embraced this new way of life for the time being. So we have 13 residences at the moment, everywhere from Galena to Kingston. The vast majority are right here in Chestertown. They support people with residential need, whatever their community living needs would be. That's what we do. We have one house, which I suppose would actually be our 14th residence, where the gentlemen who live there completely independently, and they need some supports with budgeting or just kind of more of those higher order skills that, I mean, to be honest, most 22-year-olds still need support with, and they get it from mom and dad, right? All the way to homes where there are very complex medical needs. And most of the houses are in between. And what we do in the homes now is actually provide 24-hour support to make sure that their daytime and their evening activities are meaningful for every person there. So that, of course, looks different in every home with every individual. It depends on what it is that they're looking for, what they're trying to get out of life. We have some people who worked for 25 years at the college and have retired, and they want to be retired. They want to drink their coffee on the porch at 10 in the morning and then read the newspaper till lunch, and that's okay. And then we have other people who still get up and are at work all the way in Graysonville by 7 in the morning, and they are up and going. And we have another gentleman who goes all the way to Middletown for work, and he has to be at work at 4 a.m. And that's, and everything in between. We have people we're supporting that are suffering from things like Alzheimer's and dementia due to age, and other people who are really just starting their adult lives and have kind of transitioned out of their parents' homes and wanted to live independently, and we get to support them with that. So meaningful days can mean anything, right? And for the vast majority of younger folks, what we look for is meaningful employment. Once upon a time, employment for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities used to look like sheltered workshops. I believe there is only one left in the state, and we certainly do not run it. Our goal is to integrate the people we support fully into the community, help them figure out what they want to do for a job and how we can get there. We also try to make sure that their expectations, we need people who have the heart to give back. We need people who want to come here and join us in our mission to support people to help them live their fullest lives. We are always in the process of raising funds. So most nonprofits are healthiest when they raise a rather significant portion of their operating budget. And it's set up that way on purpose. It's why there's the tax write-off and the other things that go along with giving to a nonprofit. And particularly amid the pandemic, we have funneled all of that money into our direct support professionals. But even moving forward, we need the fiscal support of the community in order to be able to help Kent Center be fiscally solvent, which would be any kind of volunteer work. If we have somebody that has a kayaking business on the river and wants to help support people with intellectual developmental disabilities, or somebody that has a horse farm that wants to allow people with intellectual developmental disabilities to become involved. We have a great number of people who maybe are not at a place where they're looking for work, but are still looking to make their days important.